Hey, what's up guys, Just Ash here, and today you're late, I know. We're playing fast and loose with what the definition of Friday is this week, because the Cats 2019 trailer dropped on Thursday, and I was completely unprepared for it. I wanted to do a trailer breakdown, but these videos take a little while to do well, so that is why I wasn't my usual punctual self. A trailer breakdown? Do you really want to go down that rabbit hole again? Yeah, we're doing this again. Now, unfortunately, I don't actually have any footage of my first reaction to the trailer, but I do have a dramatic reenactment for you. Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've reacted so viscerally to a trailer. Let's start off with some of my general thoughts. It's okay, I guess. Like, I really love Cats. In particular, I really love the 1998 film that was essentially just a recording of the stage show, and that is where I'm going to be pulling a lot of my comparisons from for this video. And you know what? Compared to that, this adaptation looks like it's going to be just fine. It looks like it's going to stay pretty true to the weird and wacky vibe that the musical has, because if any of you guys have seen it, then you know that it is basically Andrew Lloyd Webber's fever dream. It does look like they're trying to add a bit more of a plot to the film, as some of the characters do speak to one another, which isn't something that really happens in the production. And this plot, if it exists, looks like it's going to be focusing on Victoria, the white cat, and I'm not really sure why. She's not really a main character in the show. But then again, I understand why they've chosen her, because her character does have a few standout moments. She has a few solo dances, and she gets quite a big focus during the actual Jellicle Ball scene. So it kind of makes sense why they've picked her, but I don't really think that it needs more of a plot. Also, the choreography and set pieces look really good, if a little strange, because for some reason, they've decided to scale down the actors so that they are cat-sized. But it kind of looks weird because they don't look exactly like cats. It's more like little cat-sized humanoids. And can you just imagine a group of like 30 furry miniature humans running around? Because that is a premise for a horror movie right there. The music also seems to be really good. I do like the arrangement of everything that we've heard so far. In particular, Jennifer Hudson's cover of Memory really stands out in the trailer. So I have no problem with the music. I'm sure you have a problem with something though. Anyway, let's move on to the design of the characters. We'll ignore the Uncanny Valley effect for now and just talk about the character designs in general. Overall, I'm a little disappointed. I don't think anyone isn't, to be honest with you. The designs of the cats don't really have a lot of personality to them, and the costumes aren't as instantly recognizable or distinctive as the ones from the stage show. Each costume in the stage production was very distinctive, whereas a lot of the cats in the trailer look very similar with just minor changes in colors and markings. I did find it really difficult to tell who certain characters were playing. For example, I never would have guessed Taylor Swift's cat was Bon Ballerina, and I never in a million years would have guessed that Rebel Wilson was Jenny Anydots, based on the character design alone. In fact, I had to look up who they were playing on IMDb, which proves that I'm really sad and just don't have a life. However, certain characters do have a much more distinctive look. Idris Elba is really recognizable as McCavity, and I do like the decision to have him look less like the CGI cats and more like, the only thing I can say is the wolf that Johnny Depp played in Into the Woods, with the hat and the coat, and then he's obviously got his ears and his tail, and he looks a little less cat-like than the humanoids that don't really look like cats anyway, but we'll get to that. I do wish they'd found more of a balance between the stage production costumes and the CGI. So rather than it being a full CGI mo-capped suit, it was more the stage production costumes enhanced with CGI, so you could animate the tail or the ears when they needed to move, but it still looked more like the stage production costumes. I do, however, appreciate that the CG the movie is using is very much pushing the limits of what CG can do. I think that's a really good idea in concept. However, I feel like it possibly may have been carried out poorly because it's the first movie of its kind to do this sort of CG. And it's really unfortunate that it does produce a really horrible Uncanny Valley effect. Seeing the actors' smooth, uncat-like faces really throws me off, as do the overly defined butts and seeing where the cattail actually connects to the body. It just kind of creeps me out a little bit, and it's not something that I'd maybe want to sit through 90 minutes of on the big screen. I personally feel that it could be improved by giving the actors more cat-like features, like a cat nose and muzzle, and possibly making their heads fluffier. A lot of them have very smooth heads, and it's kind of weird. In fact, just make the actors fluffier in general, because that covers up the butt issue as well. However, despite the Uncanny Valley weirdness, I actually don't hate it. But you said you hated distracting CGI. I know what I said then, this is what I'm saying now. Let's move on to the casting. There have been some odd choices made here, but also some really interesting ones as well. I'm personally really excited to see Dame Judi Dench play Old Deuteronomy, because this is the first time that character has been represented as female, and I'm really intrigued to see what they're going to do with it. And I'm especially excited to see Dame Judi Dench's version of The Moment of Happiness, which is the song Old Deuteronomy sings. I think James Corden is perfectly cast as Bustopher Jones, provided they don't just turn his character into a joke, which I really feel like they might do based on this trailer. See, Bustopher Jones is a really well-respected cat in the Cats universe, and I do feel like they've kind of turned it into a bit more of a silly song and dance rather than the Cats having actual reverence for him, but that is just based on like maybe 10 seconds of the trailer, so I could be wrong. I'm intrigued to see how they utilize Idris Elba as Macavity, because despite being the villain of the show, Macavity isn't really in it all that much. He shows up for one dance/fight scene, and then he's not really seen again. In fact, he's such a small role that it's usually dual cast. So I think it's the actor who plays either Plato or Admetus plays Macavity as well. That is how small the role is. But Andrew Lloyd Webber has written new music and songs for this adaptation. So it's very possible that he has actually written a song for Macavity for Idris Elba to perform, which would be really cool. And of course, Sir Ian McKellen is perfect for the role of Gus the theatre cat. I don't think I could say a bad word about Sir Ian McKellen. He was Gandalf, for God's sake. So those were the casting choices that I did like. Let's move on to the casting choices that I'm less sure of. Taylor Swift as Bomb Ballerina really doesn't hit quite right for me. Bomb Ballerina is very much defined as a sexy cat, and Taylor Swift, to me at least, emanates the sexual potency of like a potato or maybe a bag of gummy bears. So I really don't think she has the ability to pull off the role quite as well as it's been done before. I have no problem with her singing. I'm sure that she will do just fine because she is a singer. It's just embodying the character. However, she may take it in a totally different direction. I'm not sure she will. It does look like her introduction is her coming off of a moon, Moulin Rouge style. So I think they're going to try and keep Bomb Ballerina quite sexy. I just don't feel like Taylor Swift is fitted for that role. Another really weird casting choice is Rebel Wilson as Jenny Any Dots. I feel like she has been horribly miscast in this role, and it's just going to turn the whole role into a bit of a joke. Jenny Any Dots is very much another well-respected cat. She has a whole song dedicated to why she should be the one to go to the Heaviside Layer, which is basically what the Jellicle Ball is all about. And I really don't think Rebel Wilson will do the role justice. I'm also unsure of her singing chops. I know she was in Pitch Perfect, but singing pop songs in Pitch Perfect is a little bit different to being in a musical theatre adaptation, and I don't think Rebel Wilson can pull it off. In fact, I feel like she's the most miscast cast member. And finally, I'm really on the fence about Jason Derulo as Rum Tum Tugger. John Partridge really embodied this role in the 1998 film, and it was absolutely fantastic. I just don't think Jason Derulo can live up to it. And also, I really can't imagine him singing anything without saying, Jason Derulo. I am not the first person to make that joke, and I probably won't be the last person to make that joke. In conclusion, I feel like this trailer does its job really well, but also fails dramatically at doing its job. A trailer is designed to entice you to watch the movie, and I feel like the trailer somewhat manages that. It's very much designed to appeal to fans of musical theatre, particularly fans of Cats. However, it does put the dodgy CG first and foremost. Is very much a highlight in the trailer, and it's a little bit off-putting. And let's be realistic here. If a trailer puts you off at first glance, you're probably not going to watch the film. Enough beating about the bush. Are you going to go and see the film or not? Yeah, I'm gonna watch it anyway. Hey guys, if you like this video, please make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss anything else, and make sure you check out some of my previous videos. They are over there, or over there. I don't really know which way around it is at the moment. And if you haven't already, please make sure you check out my social media. I know these are up there, so make sure you check them out.